Buddha teaching about the doctrine. Now, it is time for the Buddha to put on his yoga bowl on the way to the alms-gathering place. On the way, the Blessed One saw a young man worshipping. A loving child who should listen to his father's teachings. Every morning, after bathing, he finishes the practice of worshipping the 6 directions: east, west, south, north, upper, lower. The meeting was the origin of the birth of the Thien San. This is a primitive, brief account of the Buddha's teachings on how to deal with people, how to fulfill the duties and responsibilities of Buddhists towards themselves, their families and society. Rather than the Buddha teach how to create a harmonious society, a life full of peace and happiness. In the Ajana, according to the latest Chinese version of the Tuesday Sisters, Kin San San belongs to number 16, part 2, A Junction. In the Nikayas, according to the Vietnamese translation of Pali by the Most Venerable Thich Minh Chau, the equivalent of Thien San is Sigalavada Sutta of number 31, School of Ministry. The article is mainly from the electronic version of fatviet.com as website. All the quotes are open. The worship in 6 directions, most of the text in the business. Avoid 4 evil acts and 6 destructive property. When the Buddha was at Mount Yu races, leading alms with a mass of 2,500 bhikkhus to the city, the Buddha saw a family member named Thien San ceremony in 6 directions. He asked, "Why you early in the morning go to the park with the drenched, and you bow to such places? Transcendental Buddhists, if you want to bow first, bow to the east, west, south, north. Above and below, I obey. Your father does not dare to resist." Buddha told the birth, "Hey, son, the names are not the same, but not. But in my sermon is not such a revered worship is not. Goodwill, Benedict XVI taught me the 6-way ceremony according to Sutra." Buddha told the students, "If the eldest son or eldest son knows how to avoid the 4 causes of evil, do not do evil in 4 cases and know the 6 losses of property. Thus, if the eldest son or eldest son avoided the 4 evils, he is the 6th sense ceremony. The 4 karmas that the Buddha taught: killing, stealing, lust, hope. These are 4 evil things that should be avoided by anyone. Daily newspapers, we often see the label of crime 4 offenses on. Murder, robbery, cause the society insecure every day. Obviously, what the Buddha taught is nothing more than the ordinary things in the world. 4 evil cases: greed, anger, fear, ignorance. About craving. Not every desire is bad, but craving needs to distinguish 2 types. Craving for 5, talent, identity, real, love, makes the mind confused, leading to crazy thoughts, anger, fear and ignorance. This kind of desire must be eliminated. Second kind of desire for right understanding, right thinking, right action, for learning, development, intellectuals, social prosperity, peace, happiness, need to practice and promote. 6 industries to lose assets should be avoided. 1. Passion for wine. 2. Gambling. 3. Zoom. 4. Passionate music. 5. Make evil friends. 6. Lazy. Buddha told the students, if the 4 noble truths are the sons of the 4 noble truths are aware of the 4 signs of truth, this life is good, the next life is good. This is the basis of life in the future. In the present is the person's praise, the most retribution. After death is born to heaven, the good. Thus, the Buddha taught people who avoid the 4 karmas, 4 evil, 6 property damage, not only this life beautiful and the next life also enjoy the good. This life has good grace and the next life also there is grace. In the present the praise society, family praises and above all is safe. That society is good, not afraid. Those who do not do evil, due to greed, hatred, fear, the more honor, as the moon turns to the full moon. 4 classes of enemies and 4 categories of people in the United States. Kim NHAN recounted the friendship between Ba and H.A. to Kentucky, a beautiful friend who kept his name forever. Ba Jia is an official to work under the Great Wang, while Death is just a farmer less than a dozen years old. But only Ba Nha understands the tongue of two Kentucky, from which the two become intimates. When heard that two Kentucky unfortunately died, Ba Nha has the song Thump the Rock. The song broke, then read 4 verses. Dow Grumble heard Heart Phoenix, who was missing two Kentucky. 4-sided spring wind. Friends. Wanting to find out, it's hard to find. In life everyone needs friends. Ba to Kentucky friendship is rare, but also need to choose good friends that play. Because if you go with bad friends, have 6 errors. 1. To lie. 2. Secret space. 3. Seducing his wife. 4. Intrigue, appropriation of property. 5. Turn your interests on. 6. Like the human error. That's 6 harms on you bad. If we are friends with the evil one, we will lose our fortune every day. Buddha themed song. There are 4 classes of enemies that, as close friends, you should know. Who are these 4? 1. Clothing class. 2. Fine arts. 3. 4. The evil. 1. Corpses usually do 4 things. 1. Given in advance. 2. For less, expecting much pay. 3. For fear of the body. 4. For the benefit of the body. 2. Aesthetics usually do 4 things. 1. Good and evil follow. 2. The misfortune is shunned. 3. Prevent good things. 4. See the danger of extrusion. 3. Precious glasses usually do 4 things. 1. The lie before. 2. After the lie. 3. The lies. 4. See a little bit of fault was to blame. 4. Evil classes usually do 4 things. 1. You drink alcohol. 2. You at gambling. 3. You at lust. 4 friends at dance. There are 4 classes of close relatives who often benefit and protect. What is 4? 1. Workplace interruptions. 2. Love. 3. Help. 4. Those are the closest relatives. 1. This type of compassion is usually 4 things that bring benefits and protection. Seeing evildoers or inhibitors only show justice, compassion, direction of birth. These are 4 cases that prevent harassment and provide protection. 2. Love is usually 4 things. Love when you benefit, worry when you encounter harm, praise good virtue. Find yourself saying evil is trying to prevent. These are the 4 loves that bring benefits and protection. 3. 4 levels of help. What is 4? These are: cover yourself from the lung. Cover yourself from the endowment lung. Cover yourself from fear. Advise yourself in the absence. 4. The peer group usually does 4 things. Do not regret your possessions. Spare you with fear. Advise you in the absence. Cultivar the way to build a happy society. What is the 6th dimension? Why must worship the 6 directions as Thien San did? He did because listening to his father did not understand the meaning of worship. The Buddha said, what is the 6 directions? The Orient is the parent, the South is the chief, the West is the concubine, the North is the close friends, the upper is the elders, Sa subject, Bala subjects, the lower servant. The 6-way teachings are the way the Buddha teaches virtue. Filial paternity, parenthood. Children must respect their parents with 5 things. 1. Provide not to lack. 2. What do you want to do? 3. Not what your parents do. 4. Do not do what parents teach. 5. Do not plagiarize your parents. Parents must take these 5 care children. 1. Prevent your child from doing evil. 2. Show good things. 3. Love to the bone marrow. 4. Choose nice place to marry. 5. At the time of supplying the equipment needed. This is the life of the happy child, the peaceful society, the safe life without the fear. Teachers and teachers. The chief priest has 5 things. 1. Nearly provided things. 2. Feast of offerings. 3. Respect your esteem. 4. Do not teach what is not contrary. 5. Do you teach what to remember carefully? Do not forget. The disciples need to worship the Master with 5 things. He also has 5 things to care for his disciples. 1. Depending on the legal training. Teach the unknown. 3. Explain clearly what the question. 4. Only for you. 5. Teach everything you know not to regret. If the student respectfully heard the master, the teacher is dealing. Instructing dedicated teaching students, the social education that develops, it is stable, safe, no fear. Married couples' husband must have 5 things for his wife. 1. Treat each other. 2. Dignity is not severe. 3. Depending on the time of delivery, real. 4. Depends on the jewelry. 5. Assignment of housework. The wife also has to pay respect to her husband. 1. Get up first. 2. Sit back. 3. Say goodbye. 4. Dependent on the basis. 5. Get your husband's attention. Husband to his wife, love, respect. Wife for husband, reverently treat each other. So it is safe, no fear. Friendship, relations, love, village, neighbors. 1 must take 5 things respectfully for the children. 1. Subsidy. 2. Speak peacefully. 3. Help. 4. Co-interests. 5. Not when lied. You also have to take 5 things back. 1. Cover yourself from the lung. 2. Cheers for the loss of talent because of the lung. 3. Shield from fear. 4. Advise each other at the absence. 5. Usually praise each other. Love the village of the neighbors. Know your dear family so it is safe not to worry. Master relationship. On the bottom, this is my life. My master has 5 things to send. 1. Depending on the ability that falls. 2. Depending on the time to eat. 3. It must be rewarded. 4. Medicines when sick. Give time to rest. I have to get 5 things to serve the master. 1. Get up early. 2. Work attentively. 3. Stealth space. 4. Work with Lang. 5. Preserve the owner's honor. If this is so, then I will be safe without fear. The relationship between Vietnamese and Sa subjects. Vietnamese slaves supply Sa subject with 5 things. 1. From the word. 2. 3. Practice words. 4. Depending on the time of worship. Do not close the door. Sa subject. Brahman also advised on 6 things. 1. Prevent not to do evil. 2. Teach good things. 3. Teaching with kindness. 4. Listening to what you have not heard. 5. What has been heard makes clear. 6. Look only natural way. This is good. If there is harmony in Sa subject, like, then it is safe, no fear. Now the Buddha's transparency. Good luck, white world. It's too much for my past, beyond the teachings of my father and son. As if to turn over what is upside down, as opening up what is closed. As a light-loving person, in the dark house, he meets the lamp, and his eyes see him. What the Tathagatas teaches well, by countless means of enlightenment for the dark fool. Clarify the legal clarity. Buddha is Tathagata, Kai Chan, Chan Giac, so can only show, guide for life. Now I seek refuge in Buddhism, refuge in France, take refuge in Buddhism. Bless the Buddha to allow the child to be the preeminent rule in the Dharma. From today until the end of my life, I will not kill, do not steal, do not commit adultery, do not lie, do not drink. Reading the entire contents of the sutras, a short, concise, very clear Buddhist language that anyone can read, can be taught as a light that opens up what is closed, as a passionate person who is in the dark house to meet the lights, have eyes to see, very practical, fundamental. It is necessary for us to deal with the daily relationships in life. Also, each person in life must have responsibility and responsibility for something with someone. Each one will be the rest of the obligation and the responsibility of someone. Inference will see a vertical matrices, square matrix round the relations. Parents, children, at least once a student. Everyone must at least have a friend. Everyone must do something to live. So need to behave in a match to protect ourselves is to protect the family and the society. Sutra, the basic text, teaches us how to keep those relationships in a good way. Where we see the relations are taught by the Buddha in 2 dimensions are very delicate, such as life bent down.